Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Wrestle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Kalbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Cory Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Wrestle Rock. I'm super excited. This week, we're a week away from TLC, man. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in the world of wrestling.
Is that only a week away?
What's that?
I can't keep up with these pay-per-views.
Oh, I'm telling you, there's one every week now. We had AEW last week, and then we had, War Games the week before, and then, Impact was last night, I think. I think Impact had something.
Yeah, they had some kind of big
TLC.
They had some big return in the X division, but I never watched TNA, so I had no idea the person.
You didn't know it went somewhere.
I didn't even know the person was for the big return.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It was Genesis. I have no idea who that is. I thought Phil Collins was about to walk.
Was it Sonic the Hedgehog? Was it Sega Genesis?
Sega. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff on Impact. I have no idea what's going on. Pretty much the only thing I know about Impact is that's where Rich Swann and Deonna Purrazzo ended up, and they're both champions now. That's the extent of my knowledge of what's going on Impact.
Yes. So you have a vested interest in knowing that it exists.
Well, Kenny Omega showed up last week, last week, and he did like a little interview with Don Callis. And then later on, Carl Anderson ended up sitting down with them, and it looks like they're slowly but surely using two promotions to revive the Bullet Club, but I'm not sure how they're going to do it. Because they kept calling them Machine Gun and go out there and be the Machine Gun. And then Carl Anderson got all mad and then stormed out, screaming, "You want to see the Machine Gun, you're going to see it." So I'm wondering if they're going to try forming this thing where they have the Bullet Club running two promotions at the same time.
Oh, I got a hot take on this.
Go ahead.
I don't care.
When did Cory Castle become Mr. Negativity, man? And he used to be like peace and love. Everyone is doing fine, and there's nothing but love anywhere. And he's like, "Oh, wrestling's happening, so." What the hell, man? I don't know, man. I would actually like to get into Impact because I like the idea that they're being funny. What's that?
I thought it would be a funny thing to say.
It was funny. I laughed. Yeah, but I would like it if Impact got bigger, and I think the relationship with them and AEW is going to help that. It's nice. When was the last time there was three big companies going around? Like not since ECW days, pretty much. And ECW wasn't even big.
They don't have a stacked roster, but they got about 10 or 12 guys over in Impact that are really solid wrestlers, and you got Deonna Purrazzo over there too. So like to shed some light on that federation would be cool. I mean, it can't hurt to like put an eye on another product. It's completely different than WWE, and give someone a choice to something else to watch. So it would be cool. I don't know if they're doing this like Bullet Club thing or not, but just seeing him reunited with like Carl Anderson, it kind of like looked like it was going that way.
Well, was Gallows in that? Was Gallows in that as well? Was it Luke and Carl Anderson, or was it just Carl Anderson?
Just Carl.
But I think he's been going by Machine Gun this whole time since he's been in TNA.
Like you said, I wouldn't know.
That's why I only said I think. But I mean, even when he was in the WWE, he still had it. One knee pad said KA on it, like he had never let it go. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was still Machine Gun Carl Anderson in Impact. Yeah,
why wouldn't you do that? WWE barely paid attention to anything they were doing over there.
Right.
So why at least keep a nod to like, the people that actually care about you, and do like a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the fans. Dude, he literally, both him and Gallows basically flew under the radar for like 2 years there. I mean, and then they get their Undertaker match, which was awesome, and then they disappeared. was it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they can wind up. I'm sure they can wind up leveraging way more than what they're worth somewhere else, and they'll get that for a while until WWE goes, "Hey, come back for a sec." They'll come back for a sec, get paid more than what they're worth, and right off into the sunset. That'll be like the way it goes for a while for them, probably. They'll be like they're like the Hardy Boys all over again.
It'd be cool if they got New Japan involved somehow. If like once, you know, I don't think even New Japan is even running right now, but if they got back up and running and they decided to do this whole Bullet Club thing, why not include New Japan was still doing the Bullet Club when they started running shows. So I mean, it may be a little confusing, but
I mean, they're kind of the NWO 2000 right now. The Bullet Club over in New Japan, like it's a bunch of guys nobody really cares about, you know, in the group, and a bunch of guys they like turn just to turn over there that didn't make any sense. I think if I'm right, New Japan is actually doing stuff now. I don't know what because I don't have are they on Access?
They were. I think they got taken off. Yeah. What are you laughing at?
Just the way Mark was like, I could be wrong, but they are doing something. If they are, like he was like, I could be wrong, but I'm totally guessing.
I could have sworn they're still. I could have sworn they just started operating again, like recently.
It could be.
Like it's well, I'm definitely for sure the Bullet Club now is basically the NWO 2000. It's not. it's not the Bullet Club.
No. It'd be nice if it was, but you know, what are you gonna do? I saw Tony Kahn was on Impact as well. See that he did a little thing. He did like a little tease, like he said something about him buying Impact. Like it was a joke. He was like joking around saying that he was gonna buy Impact, but it was just weird. Like before they went to Kenny Omega, they went to Tony Khan. He was also backstage, surprisingly.
Let's not go to the talent. Let's go to the owner.
Yeah, right?
I'm more important than the talent.
Yeah. Man, it's funny. Me and Eddie Valentine, we were joking around on the watch along that we just did for War Games about how give it maybe a year and you're going to see Tony Khan in the ring. You're going to see him wrestling.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be Jericho, and it's probably going to be for the championship.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably like he's going to get sick of only paying for it and not doing it himself. So he's going to wind up doing it and being a big mark for himself, a big, you know, just a big SPO.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what a SPO is, but I think I agree with you. Yeah,
SPO,
I think it's going to be. Sorry, go ahead.
SPO is SPO, self put over.
Oh,
that's what it means.
Is that an industry term? I never heard that one.
It's an industry term. I can't believe you've never heard it. I'm very surprised.
I'm too busy putting myself over. Probably why I never heard it.
It's definitely a thing that like the backseats used to say all the time about a lot of people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's but maybe it was just their word, but I know like it like reverberated in my other circles. I heard other people saying it too. So I've been saying for years that I'm a SPO model.
You're a SPO model? Is this supposed to be like role model? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, like role model, but SPO.
You're supposed to get that SPO money and take care of them SPO problems. Yeah, man. I forget what we were talking about now. We got wrapped up in the whole SPO thing.
The
Tony Kahn. Yeah, Eddie thinks that we're eventually going to see a picture of Tony Khan putting an arm wringer on Chris Jericho, much like the Jay Leno thing. And I don't, honestly, I kind of see that happening. I kind of see that exact thing happening, and it being either Jericho or Tony Khan's idea, and everybody putting it over like it's the greatest thing ever. I can totally see that happen.
I think that was a part of the pitch meeting for AEW. Jericho and Cody and all of them are in there. And he's like, "Yeah, if you help put up this federation for us," he's like, "Can I wrestle?" well, we were just thinking you'd be the money backing and a name. He's like, I'm a wrestler. I'm going to be world champion. And then what do you do? He owns the company, like 70% of the company.
Honestly, that's what it comes down to. Because if they would have, if Ted Turner would have wanted it, he could have gotten in the ring in WCW and done something.
Yeah.
Probably not have a match because he's like 1,000 years old, but he probably could have done something if he wanted to. Thankfully, he didn't, because it would have made it even worse. But,
how old would he be if he was still alive?
I don't know. Is he dead? I didn't know he was dead.
I think he's dead.
Hold on.
All right.
Is Ted Turner dead?
Is Ted Turner still alive? It's actually the first line that came up.
What is it? What is the result?
Let's see here. So, he's alive. He has dementia.
Yeah.
That's it. So
he doesn't know.
What a
So
damn-
he's pretty much not alive, but like,
he's alive. He's just not there.
yeah.
That's funny.
I feel sorry for his family. That's a tough thing to have to go through.
You thought he was dead. You should feel better for him.
That's also a tough thing to have to go through. I feel sorry for his family.
They just sit him on the couch and put Turner Classic Movies on, and he's like everything for the first time now.
Everything will be brand new for him. He's like, "What's this classic? This is a classic now. I love it." Hey, can we get the execs to call this a classic? Because I think it's classic. I'm like, yeah, you already did that.
What's this? It's a Wonderful Life. I love it. Let's put it in color. Oh, why is it already in color? How did we do that? It's going to be a whole thing from colorizing already colored movies. Movies that he already colorized.
It's just he lives as if he forgets that most of his life existed, and like the technologies, like what is this, a CD player? Like CD players are now an old thing, but like like Austin Powers waking up in the after being cryogenically frozen, but that's Ted Turner's 95-year-old man self.
Mm-hmm.
Ted
Turner. Sorry, Ted Turner. Sorry, Ted Turner's family.
It's
Just taking a little shot at your well-being. Just taking a little fun little jab.
It's almost as wrong as Vince sending everybody back to the performance center this week.
Wait, what happened?
Keith Lee needs polishing.
Oh no!
It's like Otis, Keith Lee. What are the other names?
One of the Reckoning, the Australian.
Slapjack.
Yeah. Reckoning. Medium. So he sent them all back to the performance center.
Well, they have to go 2 more days of the week to train there instead of counting their money from Twitch that they can't have anymore.
My dog is going insane. I have to go take care of this. Can you guys talk for a minute?
Sure.
Yes, I don't get it. Like some people are saying that Keith might have been just accidentally thrown in.
You know what's funny is like I could see the Otis thing because like I was watching back one of his matches and it was like, who was he in there with? And just whatever it was like their lockup was real sloppy and awkward looking. And I was like, okay, I could see like they just need to polish up the littlest things. But for the most part, his like timing's great and his like where he's got to be is always right.
I think the one thing with Otis was he was geez, everybody's leaving me. Don't leave me here. Tater by myself. I don't even know how to make a point when anybody's not sitting here with me.
somebody was knocking on my door.
Yeah, I just think with Otis, I think what it was is he had everything on the entertainment side, and they wanted him to come up. And I don't know if he was truly ready yet for the main card. Entertainment wise, he is like he's entertaining as all hell, but I just don't think he was. I guess maybe they saw something in him that wasn't polished or needed work. But Keith Lee blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind.
So mix that topic with the topic of like JR said some stuff about people gathering up just to catch a dive and like kind of like crapping on the talent of AEW for continuously doing that move. And and then there's like, what the heck is that guy's name?
Oh, but that's all of wrestling. Though. That's all of wrestling right now. It's dives, and it's impossible to do a dive spot without the other guy looking like he's going to catch it.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do?
What do you mean when you see them all standing in a circle and they're doing this?
Yeah.
All get together. Where the guy jumps on them.
Yeah. It's like, well, it's also like, because he was saying that combined with saying that finishes aren't protected anymore at all. Finishers don't mean anything. Super kicks don't mean anything. DDTs don't mean anything. And he was like, do you think it's because like DDTs were done better by Jake the Snake Roberts and super kicks were done better by Shawn Michaels? No, those moves were protected. And I guess some of the talent, I think, what is the guy's name who's like Cutler guy? Jim Cornette was calling him Cutler.
Yeah, it's the dude of he comes out with the giant role playing die. And he's dressed like a wizard or whatever for like D&D.
He's like middle school friends with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
So he like crapped on JR on Twitter, like in a very like jabby way about some match they were supposed to do. And it was like he's speaking for his friends who can't speak for him because he's JR's the highest paid person on their roster.
That's the truth.
It's like, okay, so instead we'll just get mad at you for hurting our feelings instead of like listening to the like advice of what works from somebody who's seen it work.
Not only somebody's seen it work, you're talking to the guy who signed The Rock and Steve Austin.
Right.
In WWE, you look at the guy who signed Mick Foley and showed everybody who Mick Foley really is. Like, This guy knows wrestling. So why wouldn't you turn around and go, all right, well, maybe we should sit down with this guy and pick his brain. Instead, they're going to cry about it.
Right.
And I'm reading his second book right now, Under the Black Hat. And it's good. It's real good.
Really good.
The best thing about JR is he talks about how vulnerable he is a lot, which
I
is
must say, I very much love JR. I love listening to his podcast. I started reading his first book, and when he started telling the story about how his dad made him take a bag of puppies, a burlap sack of puppies, and kill them all with hammers, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to close this book and I don't want to read about puppies getting smashed with hammers. Man, you were messed up. Your childhood sucked. I get it. Sorry. Sorry.
So just skip that chapter.
Yeah. They're dogs. It's like, JR's like 60 something years old now. Those dogs would all be dead now anyway. So
Jesus.
Look at it like that. Like that. Hey, they were going to be dead by the time you read the book anyway, even if they lived long and happy lives.
They would all be sitting there with Ted Turner watching Turner Classic Television.
All right, moving on. Did you hear the CM Punk story this week? About he pretty much laid out exactly what would have to happen if he came back.
You said this. We talked about this not on the air at some point. I don't remember when. I think we went maybe back and forth about this. Sorry, go ahead. Say it, because I'm not all the way familiar with what happened.
I know he just did an interview. I lost who we did an interview with, but he just basically came out and said it would take either a crap load of money or it would take an absolute perfect storyline. I really think that he's close to coming back. Like it's in his head that he wants to come back, but I don't think that it's definitely not going to be WWE because WWE is not ready for him. But I don't think it's going to be AEW either because I don't think any of them can write that story. What do you think would it take? Like what storyline would work perfect? Like it would have to be that sizzling perfect storyline. What do you think that would be?
I think it would be something along the lines of mixing the Impact brand with AEW brand, where it's somewhere on the in between in that. I think that could be an interesting way to tie it together. But I'm not sure exactly how that story would play out.
He's also looking for the right opponent. He doesn't want to. I just watched this. I literally just watched this about 20 minutes ago. He's also looking for the right opponent too. So I think someone like, if you can get the right storyline wrapped around Kenny Omega, especially like someone like Kenny Omega's a type, he wants to wrestle someone fresh, someone he's never worked with. Like he was talking about Drew McIntyre. He's like, he's doing really well, but he doesn't do it for me. The thing is, he's looking for them to pull him in, but nothing they're doing is enticing him. So I could see Omega. I could see possibly maybe Okada or why am I blanking out his name? Another New Japan guy. I'm trying to think of possibly pulling him over there. But he wants the storyline, and it has to be enough money, no matter what.
More than likely, it's going to be Cody Rhodes. That'll be his opponent. His program will be with Cody Rhodes, more likely than anything else.
Well, that's the thing. He said he hinted around that he didn't want to come back to WWE without saying it, because he said he didn't want to go back to wrestling if it's going to be the same thing he was already doing when he left, which is hinting what they do in WWE. They bring people like, they bring Johnny Nitro back, and then what's he do? He's right back with the Miz, and it's 10 years ago all over again. So he doesn't want to do that. But I think it's the right person, the right amount of money, and the right storyline. I think he will come back. I don't know. I know he made the Young Bucks pretty mad when they tried to get him to come the first time around. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out either.
Well, dude, those guys suck, really. It seems like anything I ever hear about is like they're just a bunch of whiny babies who need to be punched in the mouth.
But I do recommend.
I don't know, Young Bucks. If you want to give me a job, sure, go ahead, give me a job. But here's the thing: I'm not going to pull any punches, bro. If you're doing some stupid ass stuff, I'm going to be like, bro, that's stupid ass stuff. This is what it is.
It is what it is, folks. And I don't think it's going to be with Cody, because Cody is clearly only bringing back the people that he wrestled with or that he was friends with, or
he idolized.
His childhood. And his idol, the people that he idolized. That's why I brought Sting back, because he remembers Sting from WCW.
Well,
by the way, kind of got choked up when he was in the ring, and he made Tony Schiavone yell, "It's Sting," and he ran out and gave him a big old hug. I kind of got choked up because you could see it on both their faces, like just like the joy, like Tony Schiavone and him in the ring together. And Tony doesn't get enough credit for how great he really was back in the day. So that was I don't know. They kind of hit it for me. And then it just got cheesy after that. It's
special. Yeah. I mean, there's moments are special to those men's lives for sure. I mean, CM Punk was somebody in Cody's career. Didn't they do something together in WWF back in the day, or WWE?
They might have. Nothing too memorable. Nothing that like really jumps off the. I mean, there might have been a storyline somewhere.
I think it was like whatever the legacy thing was, and like it was like them versus like DX with CM Punk, DX with CM Punk or something.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
So they were like tied together a little bit in there. So
yeah, it's when they basically just gave the title to Randy Orton. The whole CM Punk being jumped in the back room. Yeah, which I want to hear. Punk was never happy about that one.
They just wanted to hot shot it off of him. Like,
Yeah.
just didn't want him to have it anymore. Like, it was a failed experiment in their eyes.
I would like to see him come back. I don't know where he comes back. I don't know where he fits in. WWE is just too many stars. Just, I think even when it come back, and then you got to think about it too, he ain't coming back until there's crowds. So no matter what, they can offer him all the money, all the storyline they want. If there's no crowd, he ain't coming back. Like, so
it's not going to be a pop for it. It's just going to be like they're going to drop it in like the sound effect, like people are reacting, and then pipe in a canned CM Punk chant.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what got me was the thank you Pat chant that they piped in somehow. Mm-hmm. I was like, how the hell did they do that?
Well, that was the Pat Patterson memorial, not memorial, the Pat Patterson appreciation night. They had that on Raw like a couple years ago. Bret Hart was there. It was in Canada. You know, they had a whole just to celebrate Pat Patterson night, and then that's where they got the thank you Pat chant from.
Oh, okay.
Because as soon as he died, I started YouTubing all kinds of Pat Patterson stuff, so I found it everywhere.
Well, it's like War Games. They were all chanting war over and over again. They got that from the War Raiders when he used to come out and do this. When they were all like, when they would just stand at the top of the, they just took that and piped it in when everybody was going to the ring during War Games.
Funny as hell.
Who decided? So I said, who decides what chants are going to get piped in and where they come from?
I don't know.
So
I want to know
a bunch of people got injured, right?
Yeah, but now that you bring that up, I want to see who has to sit there and meticulously go through footage, listening for crowd chants to pull that audio clip. Like, do they just pull it as soon as it happens? Like, what? How do they do that? That's really nuts. But 3 people got injured at War Games. What was that? This past weekend, I believe. Nope, the weekend before. But Candice LeRae apparently has a broken arm.
Yeah.
Dude, that was such a sloppy botch. It was so sloppy. First of all, she pulls the chair back onto herself because the chair wasn't even on her. And then Shotzi landed full blown, like with her butt right on top of that chair. Yeah. All her upper body weight came right down on that chair onto her arm. And that match was
that was rough. That was a rough match to watch. It was very, very over the top with the amount of crazy bumps and risks that they didn't really need to take, but they wanted to do it to make a good show. I thank God it was just her arm, because that could have easily been her face or her, her chest bone or something like that. Man, it could have easily gotten a lot worse.
Oh, like Oni Lorcan? Like Oni Lorcan when he dropped a knee onto the chair, and the chair just smacked Oni Lorcan right in the face. They showed him roll over, and his whole mouth was full of blood right after that. Like, they messed him up on that shot. And then I heard somebody was knocked loopy. I can't remember. And, it was Ember Moon. Ember Moon got kicked in the head and was knocked loopy in the beginning of the match.
Oh, really?
There were a lot of people got hurt during War Games.
I'm going to say it again. I've said it a million times. Too many kicks in the head when it comes to wrestling. The Insigiris, somehow they snuck their way into being called in every match. So every match is going to have a dive in an Insigiri, like, most of the time. Kicks in the head are all like 100 times in every match, mostly Insigiris. And it won't happen in one of my matches, especially, I mean, not for me. And most people don't do Insigiris to me because I say, hey, don't do it.
Well, I don't mind the Insigiris too much because they always get that hand up in front of the head. They're always protecting themselves with that. It's more the the accidental shots, the accidental, somebody catches a knee or an elbow to the face or something like that. Those are usually the ones that mess you up, or like a drop kick when it's supposed to be in the chest, but it's just like a little too high and ends up taking somebody's jaw off. Things like that really bother me. But I mean, it's nobody's fault. It's just part of wrestling. Mistakes happen. You can't really blame anybody for trying something new or trying to, get that little holy S chant from the non-existent crowds. They want that "this is awesome" chant, at least in the instant replay. So I can't really blame them. They want the highlight reel is what they want, basically. And I can't blame them for that. I used to do the same thing.
It's just a lot of people. A lot of people
are getting injured. We got 2 people coming back this week. We got Finn Balor and Carrion Cross making a return on NXT. Carrion Cross decided to destroy Damian Priest with a nasty ass powerbomb. I'm really looking forward to this match. I'm guessing this is probably going to happen on the 6th of January. What is it? New Year's Evil or something? New Year's Evil, yeah.
New Year's Evil.
Looking forward to that. And we got the champ. We got Finn Balor back. So I'm excited for that. It looks like he's going to be taking on either Pete Dunne or the not Bobby Fish, the other one. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. Kyle Riley. The other one. You know what I'm talking about.
Not Bobby Fish.
Not Bobby Fish, the other one. Hey, for a long time, he didn't matter. Hey, neither one of them mattered. They were a tag team. So it was
every other member of Undisputed Era would be like, no, not Bobby Fish. No, not Adam Cole. No, not Roderick Strong. The other guy.
The one that's been doing fantastic lately for like the past 6 months.
I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know if people interfere and get Pete Dunne taken out of the match. Because I really see Kyle O'Reilly probably having this rematch against Finn Balor. And hopefully neither one of them get hurt this time when they're doing the match.
Break Finn Balor's jaw?
Yeah, lifted a knee in the corner, hit him right in the mouth. They showed the replay. It was brutal. Did a knee lift in the corner, hit him right in the face. But I don't see
his jaw.
I don't see Pete Dunne winning that match. Took his jaw.
My favorite part was when Rick said it, he went, sorry, and then he minimized himself like at the exact same time.
That's all.
I needed full screen. I needed full screen to apologize. Go ahead.
He was like, they took his job. Roop, sorry. Roop, back this way.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the New Year's Evil thing. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it either. If there's going to be like a lot of interference, if there's going to be, it could just be a one-on-one match with Pete Dunne and oh my God, Kyle O'Reilly, just to see who the number 1 contender is, and then like the winner faces Finn Balor at New Year's Evil. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping it's Kyle O'Reilly because I want to see that rematch, because the last one was so insanely good, and I think Kyle O'Reilly's due. To be honest with you,
he is due.
Why not?
He is due, but I kind of want to see Pete Dunne versus Finn Balor. Just, I think those two will kill it together.
I agree. As you say, Pete or Kyle O'Reilly, not Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, or Roderick Strong. I think, well, he may be due. I would rather see Pete Dunne against.
Yeah, as a fan, I just rather see Pete Dunne.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would rather that's that NXT level match that I think was kind of missing on War Games. I mean, War Games was a solid show, but I don't know. I just don't think they had that match that they usually have. That just
because it was like a lot of it was wrapped up in the match. A lot of it was in the War Games matches, so you didn't have those singles bangers. And the other thing that wasn't a War Games match was the 3-way match, and those kind of get a little too much to keep up with.
It wasn't bad though. I have to admit that was one of my more enjoyable matches on the show. rewatched the Johnny Gargano. Yeah, I thought it was a really well laid out match, especially like with Leon Ruff, like, in the middle of these two guys that were supposed to be like way more elite than he was, and I thought it was a well done match.
Yeah,
it wasn't my biggest thing about War Games is, can we please stop using fake weapons? Can we stop bringing out styrofoam cricket bats and fake hammers that look like it's from like like a play school play set and hitting people with it, please? Can we please stop it?
It's like the real weapons are bad enough. Like there's no need for that. Look, that cricket bat did look incredibly fake, but I mean, like all the steel chairs and the ladders and everything, they looked so insanely real, and they very much hurt. So like, why not just stick to those?
Did you see when Kevin Owens hit Jey Uso in the face with that chair this week on SmackDown? It was like, whoop, like the side of the chair, like hit him right in his face. And they're like, "Oh, that looks right to Uso's face." Like,
face off, it's gone. It's been crazy. We got TLC coming up pretty soon. Royal Rumble is next month, and they're already talking about WrestleMania, the possible, the rumored WrestleMania matches that are already on card. Did you guys hear this? They got 3 big matches already. One is Edge and Orton. I think we pretty much saw that coming. Edge is eventually going to make his comeback, probably at the Rumble, and they're going to lead to another Edge versus Orton match, which I'm absolutely fine with. Mm-hmm. Let's see that going. As long as it doesn't end in another Edge injury, and we can actually have Edge back on the roster fighting other people besides Randy Orton, I'm fine with that. The other 2 matches that were rumored, it's funny that you brought up Keith Lee, because they were talking about mixing Keith Lee with Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar for a triple threat for the WWE Championship.
That's not appealing to me. I want to see Keith Lee versus Brock Lesnar or Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. I don't want to see a 3-way. I want to see.
I agree.
I want to see 2 guys shine in the ring. Like I don't want to see a 3-way dance where one guy rolls out of the ring, 2 wrestle for a few minutes, and another one rolls out. Because with Brock, that's the style match they're going to do.
And then someone's going to get kicked in the wiener.
Well, Brock is punched in the nuts, and that's the way they can beat him.
Yeah, you can only gain advantage by kicking him in his ding dong. Have that little. Remember No Mercy, where you do a low blow and it plays a little bing. Yeah, we should cut together a compilation of Brock Lesnar getting kicked in the junk with that bell playing.
You get on that. You compile that footage. I'll put it together for you.
I don't have good enough. I don't have the good enough software.
Oh, that's fine. But yeah, I agree with the whole triple threat thing. It's like WrestleMania 20 with Benoit and Michaels and Triple H. If it was just Benoit versus Michaels or Benoit versus Triple H, it would have been a much better match because you get that one-on-one.
Way more forgettable when there's more than one opponent to the champion. It gets way less remember. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as memorable.
Yeah. I mean, it's memorable because it was Benoit going over for the title, and like that was a long time coming. But it's less memorable because Triple H and Shawn Michaels had that big feud going on, and it was, Chris Benoit's just here because he won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it was like an accessory to a storyline.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. The third match that they're talking about is Reigns versus Goldberg. I don't know if you saw all this on Twitter that was going on, but there was apparently a war going back and forth between Goldberg and Roman Reigns, complaining that Reigns is doing the spear, and Goldberg's pissed at that, and Reigns is like, "Screw you, I do what I want," and
they just been doing the spear for 20 years.
I know.
That's not a WrestleMania match.
No, it doesn't have the caliber, doesn't have the prestige, doesn't have the. It interests me at all. If you appeal to it,
if you want to do it during the Rumble, I'm cool with that during the Rumble. Because the Rumble's the main match anyway, and you want to put more focus on that actual match. Why don't you put 5 minutes for Reigns, Goldberg during that? Then Reigns go over, and then whoever wins the Rumble wrestles Reigns or Drew McIntyre for the title.
Here's how I predict it happening. So it's going to be like Goldberg comes and Roman's like, yeah, well, you gotta blah blah blah, and now Jey Uso go earn your keep and go beat him up, and then Goldberg beats the crap out of Jey Uso like everybody else does, and then Jey Uso loses like he always does, and then it leads to Roman and Goldberg at whatever. Hopefully not WrestleMania because that's not a WrestleMania match.
I still think Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns is the match for Mania. I really do think that's your Kofi Mania moment, that's your Bryan Danielson moment.
I think Jey Uso looks like such a chump and a dork. Like always getting chumped out and always getting beat and always like being like, yeah, you beat me up, but like you're the head of the table. I gotta do it. Like it seems I think he's not being used right in this.
Well, WWE's never been good at that.
Exactly right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, WWE's never been good at that, man. Like you think about, Daniel Bryan with the Wyatt family and John Cena with the Nexus. They never do that well where the guy has to work for the person he hates. They've never been good at that. But they do the storyline like every 5 years.
But I think it's good. I think this is exactly the way it needs to go. I think he needs to be it needs to be Roman Reigns humiliating Jey Uso in order to get that pickup. I think it's being done well because it's being done in a way that it's Jey Uso saying, no, I need to do this. It's not Roman Reigns saying, you go out and do this. You have to do this. It was, but now it's Jey Uso jumping in the ring and defending Roman Reigns. It's Jey Uso like throwing himself over, getting hit with chairs over and over again. And I think it's the way to go. Corey, you did something similar in DCW with JJ Cruz.
I did.
Where Cruz was your lackey and stuff like that. I think it's similar. It's all about respect and stuff like that. So
I mean, I get it, but I mean, do you think that it makes it like some of the fans will look at like when Jey Uso finally gets the comeuppance on Roman Reigns, they'll be like, oh, but he's just like the lackey dude who's losing all the time and always saying sorry, like because that might be the parts that pop out to them.
Well, I think it could be. I think somewhere down the storyline, you need to start making Jey Uso look like he's sick of it and he can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Right now he's playing the defeated role. But
you can only hear him say "my bad, dog" like 100 more times, and then that's it. You guys rip on me 12 or 13 more times, and I'm out of here.
We gotta admit though, man, Kevin Owens hasn't looked like this in a while.
Yeah.
And he's killing it right now. Him going after Roman Reigns with his knee wrecked and using a chair to like help him get up the ramp, and dude, that's the Kevin Owens everybody's loved. And I mean, he's still going to get destroyed at TLC, but
dude, that ending, the like Roman's like message right to Kevin's family. What a good ending! What a good like main event push towards something where he's like, you got to talk to your husband. You got to talk to your daddy, or else you ain't going to be earning no more money. You ain't going to have no more food on your table. Damn. Cool.
It was a damn good promo.
Yeah.
It was a damn good promo. I just noticed how tatted up you are. What the hell, man? You couldn't wipe those off before you got on air?
No, it's just movie stuff. It'll come off.
Look at you.
It'll come off. I
thought you were wearing those.
It'll come off.
No, I just
was wearing those weird sleeves that people buy.
No, it's just another movie part I did over the weekend, and they had to put fake tattoos on me. What did you say?
So this one was a movie part, like.
Yeah,
I'm actually waiting to get my leg done right now. It's like I got pushed back to January. It's always good to have your leg done in January, then like have jeans rubbing up on your brand new tattoo for.
Just get yourself some Zubaz, dude.
Some what?
Just get
Zubaz?
Just get some Zubaz, bro.
Wear pajamas around.
I need a fanny pack and a string tank top to go with it.
Yeah, exactly. I got all those things.
I would have doubted you do.
I got him the pants. I got him the pants for his birthday. I was like, here's Zubaz pants. You look like you could use these.
I can use them.
They're fun. It's fun to dress like that once in a while. Why not? Go dress up like that and go to Walmart. It's fun.
This is
It's a good time.
the second pair of Zubaz pants that Rick has bought me in my life.
I just want to get them with a fanny pack and walk around with what looks like everything on Braun Strowman's cabinet when he's.
You're gonna put like those like skiing sunglasses on. Like maybe like a backwards Kangol, like a leather one.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Perfect. All right, man. It's about that time. We got to take a look and shine a spotlight on one person that did so well this week, and we're doing something called Who Wins Wrestling? Who Wins Wrestling? Blah, 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 blah. You guys go first. Mark, what do you got?
Damn it. I'm going to stick with Kevin Owens for the second week in a row.
Nice.
I'm really enjoying what they're doing with him, and it was tough with War Games ending and the fallout from all that, but he stands out more than anyone. That and Carmelo's entrance. Yeah, he's killing it. The level of passion he's showing in this, and that whole getting up after him getting beat down. It's the Kevin Owens we wanted for years now. So I'm really enjoying it.
Very cool. Corey, how about you, man? What do you got?
I think the amount of creativity that's been coming out of Sami Zayn in the last month or so has been so good. Like the whole bringing Pat Patterson back up for the Intercontinental Championship and the whole thing with not having merchandise. All of that was really cool. And then being in a non-title match against Big E Langston, who is getting pushed to the moon. And he's like, make sure it's a non-title match. Normally when they make a big deal about it being a non-title match, the champion loses. So they found some creativity, a way to go under the ring and get Big E counted out and come back in. It's just cool. So I'm saying Sami Zayn.
Very cool. I'm going to go with somebody from my childhood, and I'm going to go with Zeus because the man just passed away what was it? A couple days ago, I think. Just passed away.
Night? It was Thursday night.
What's that? Thursday night. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, he was found unconscious in an apartment on Thursday. They took him to the hospital. He died in the hospital Friday morning. 62 years old. It's very, very sad. It's very young to die. The man had a great life, though. Not only was he part of a big, huge storyline in WWE, which is crazy, against Hulk Hogan in late 80s, early 90s. That's insane. But he had a great movie career as well. I think No Holds Barred is at this point a cult classic, at least. And he was in a whole bunch of movies. I believe he was in one of the Austin Powers movies. He was in The Dark Knight on the prison boat when they all had the remote control detonators. He was one of the prisoners. He had a great life, great career. What's that? He was in Friday. Yes, he was in Friday. It was just a great movie career and a very cool little part in wrestling. With No Holds Barred, the match in the movie. The Survivor Series, he was a big part of Survivor Series, he was on Teddy DiBiase's team, the $1 Million team back in 1989, and got disqualified. They did that weird snapping of Hogan's neck where he just shook his head back and forward. It was just, looking back, it's totally cheesy, but at the time, I loved it.
Cheesy as hell.
So, yeah.
That's what the 80s were.
Cheesy as hell. Yeah. So, yeah, man, that's me. I'm going to go with Zeus. And I think that'll about do it for this week, man. We talked about a lot. There was a lot of news going on. RASSLE Rock is happening right now as we're speaking. This video is going to drop on YouTube on Wednesday alongside the video for RASSLE Rock. The podcast is going up tonight. But, yeah, we're going until December 24th. We were just talking off air. We just did a video with me making a sandwich with my phone strapped over my eyes and Cory on FaceTime trying to guide me in making a sandwich through jelly everywhere. I'm still finding little tiny drops of jelly, like stickiness all over the camera. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, it's a great time. It's very much fun. Hopefully it's entertaining all of you, but it's all for the charity, which is Partners in Health, who is working hard with medical teams to combat COVID, not just here, but they're doing it all over the world. COVID isn't just in major cities, which a lot of people forget about. It's in places like Peru and Ethiopia and these like really poor countries that they're getting hit hard and they don't have the medical supplies that they need. So Partners in Health is really helping out with that. We're taking donations in the form of our T-shirts on our Teespring shop, which is you can find it on wrestlerock.com under the shop section. Everything on there, 100% of it all goes to the charity. And also on December 20th, as part of RASSLE Rock, we're doing a live stream. I'm going to be on the air from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be watching movies. We're going to be watching old wrestling matches, old videos of RASSLE Rock. It's going to end with the TLC watch along. That's all happening on December 20th. We might be partnering.
It's like a telethon sort of thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
The RASSLE telethon.
Yeah.
RASSLE Bellathon.
RASSLE Bellathon. There you go. That works. I like that. We might be partnering with Red Nose Day as well, which is somebody that's trying to provide. It's a charity that's trying to provide food for people that are suffering from COVID and have lost their jobs and stuff like that. It's trying to provide meals for them as well as get people that had the health care that they need to combat COVID. A lot of times they do work with HIV and AIDS. So they're trying to help those people out as well. So we're trying to do a whole bunch of stuff in the one stream, and we're going to get that out there, and we're going to entertain you guys as much as we can while we're doing it. Cory, do you have anything to plug?
Before I get into trying to plug anything, I just want to say, I want to just say real quick for the record, Rick, you're a great person, and it's very evidenced by how much work you put into this for these charities and for these people. And you don't see anything back sometimes from it. I just want you to know that I recognize how much effort you're putting forward and how much you care. And I care as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for your help. Both of you guys have been in Mark, you were in one. Cory, you were in 2 videos this year. I wish I could do more, but hey, there's an ongoing global bastard that's happening right now. There's a YouTube channel I watch. They keep on calling it the ongoing global Backstreet Boys reunion tour because they're not allowed to talk about what's actually happening. And I'm like, that's a good name for it. I might take that. I might use that. But, yeah, there's a whole bunch of crap going on.
My friend Eli's been calling it the Pansies.
The Pansies,
yeah,
because it's a pandemic.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But
yeah, man.
My plugs, the same as always. I always say, if you're checking out this podcast and you dig it, make sure you subscribe to Rick's YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you catch your podcasts, and check out my podcast as well, Evolving with Cory Castle. New episode this week was an amazing episode. I listened back to it today. I had such a good time. It was this comedian named Alex Voludo. Has a really funny stand-up special on YouTube. He's a comedian out of Utah. He's the son of a DC artist who created a character in a comic book that had a bunch of issues. I think it had only 8 issues or something. Just one short bunch of issues, but the main character was named after him. So it's a really cool time. It's a good, fun interview. Good hang sesh, but that's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and wherever you subscribe and enjoy podcasts.
Right. Mark, do you have anything going on?
Nope. It's going to snow on Wednesday. Have fun with snow.
Have fun with the snow.
suck. It's gonna suck, but that's fine. We're gonna get by it.
It's supposed to get anywhere from like 6 to like an oblivion. I don't know. They keep making the numbers different every week. So just enjoy the show.
I was wearing shorts on Sunday, so I can't complain, man. Like we're in the middle of December, and like it's been pretty much like in the 50s and 60s like until now. So I'm not going to complain about it. We had a really decent fall. I'm ready for winter, I guess. Sucks, but I'll take it. All right, man. That'll about do it then for this episode of Wrestle Rock. What's that?
I'm gonna go watch wrestling.
Let's go watch wrestling. Let's go enjoy some professional wrestling and have some fun. That'll be it.
Wrestling.
Watch wrestling.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
All right, man. That'll do it for this episode of Wrestle Rock. I'm Rick Connor.
Mark Hallbacher.
Cory Castle.
Let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burke. Or not. There goes.
To say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Wrestle Rock.
Here's when Jay Davis goes.
What's that? It's when Jay Davis spoke. Nice.